Staten Island, while not the most interesting film I've seen this year, it's not the best movie in my opinion. It's basically about a son whose father have died in a hotel fire when he was 7, and it traumatizes him. But it's certainly a very compelling film to watch. I'll recommend this because it is certainly worth your time. Directed by Judge Apatow, who's directed other films such as The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. This film follows a 24-year-old man who lives with his mom, and he's basically got to get his life together. He battles depression, and from there you have an interesting story. I do have to say so myself. Pete Davidson plays Scott Carlin. You have Marissa Tomei in this film. And you also have Bill Burr playing Ray Bishop. And I have to say, for such a interesting movie like this, is that everyone did a remarkably good job, especially Pete Davidson. He pretty much knocked out the part in this film, and his involvement holds the film together. Now, does this film has issues? Of course. But I think what saves this film, in a sense, is the performance of Pete Davidson. I really didn't know what to expect from this film, and I believe this is the first film I ever seen him in. And I have to say, as the story is concerned, that there are some interesting twists in this film, and it's certainly funny. Some of the people in this movie did a really good job, and it makes you appreciate the little things of life. I look at this film as a life lesson. If you can appreciate the little things in life, then you can learn a lot in the long run. And it's like a film where if you get your life in order, then you can do so much more in life. And I really like that. You see, Scott Carlin, he wants to be a tattoo artist, obviously. So, in order for him to be successful, he has to do some things to get there. He gets in trouble in a certain part of the film, and you really feel for this guy. Take it from a lot of people who's battling depression, and this film is that something they can relate to. This is a relatable experience for a lot of people out there. Story-wise, this movie is alright. While not the greatest story I've seen in a movie this year, it's certainly, like I said beforehand, a lot of people can relate to, especially me. If anybody in their early mid-20s go through what this guy went through, then they honestly can connect with this film on a deeper level. You see, Scott Carlin, he hangs out with his friends, smokes marijuana, he slacks off at the job that he does get as a busboy later on in the film, and he's sleeping with his friend that's a girl, and they're not really together. And not only that, he's still living with his mom, but I guess what I'm really trying to say is that if people are in the situation, then they can get out of the situation just by figuring things out. It's the little things in life that matter most. I really appreciate this film. Though not great by any means of imagination, it has its flaws, such as story pacing. And there's some slow moments in the film, but this is not the film you'll watch if you want to get a fantastic story. Nonetheless, though, this is a fine movie all by itself, and I enjoyed it. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Pretty decent in my opinion. There's some things I like about this film, some other things I really didn't like. But in a month where originally we were supposed to be getting a lot of great movies, then you know how Tony turned out. It just, as the old saying goes, shit happens. So I'm still reviewing films like this. Not a bad movie, but it's not the greatest either. And I certainly will say that I probably would have not gotten into this film originally. Had these other movies not been delayed and all that other stuff. And that's my review of The King of Staten Island. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film. Do you love it, hate it, or in the middle? While this ain't the best work that Judd Apatow has done in terms of directing this movie, It's certainly interesting how he handled the mature material that's presented throughout this film. And it makes you look at life at a larger scale and say, you know what? I can appreciate little things in life, so I can relate to this movie. I bet a lot of people can say that about this film. Alright, this is Slum Guy 172 saying, peace out.